The atmosphere in the arena shifted dramatically as an unexpected moment unfolded. The crowd went quiet and then erupted in applause. The reason? A powerful statement from none other than basketball legend Michael Jordan. His words were so profound that even Caitlin Clark, the rising star, was left momentarily speechless. This wasn't just another speech, it was an unforgettable moment that no one had seen coming. And it ended with the entire arena on its feet. Jordan isn't the type to hand out praise lightly. Throughout his illustrious career, countless athletes have dreamed of earning a simple acknowledgement from him, but most never do. This is what made the moment with Caitlin Clark so remarkable. Jordan's name is etched into the very heart of basketball history. With 6 championships, 5 MVPs, Olympic gold, and a legacy so dominant that the sport still uses him as the measuring stick for greatness. To say he's hard to impress is an understatement. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is still in the early chapters of her own journey. But what a journey it's been. She's rewritten NCAA records and brought unprecedented attention to the WNBA, revolutionizing its viewership in the process. She's not just a rising star, she's a generational talent whose precision on the court is matched only by her unwavering confidence. With every game, she carries the hopes of millions who see her as the future of the sport. But despite her meteoric rise, she's still in the early stages of carving out her place in basketball's history, still striving to join the legends who've come before her. This is why the idea of Michael Jordan, arguably the greatest player of all time, publicly recognizing her is so electric. It wasn't just another athlete giving kudos to a young prodigy. It was the meeting of basketball's past and future in one powerful moment. Jordan's recognition of Caitlin was about more than just her raw talent on the court. It was about the fire, the drive, the determination that transcends mere skill. That intangible quality that made Jordan a legend. He wasn't merely admiring her game. He saw in her the same relentless spirit that fueled his own legendary career. The crowd was about to witness something unscripted and powerful. Without prior notice, Jordan stood up, signaling for a microphone, and the arena grew quiet. The camera zoomed in. The buzz of conversation ceased. Fans could feel they were about to witness something truly special. Caitlin Clark, who's faced all types of pressure on the court, focused her attention solely on Jordan, who now had the crowd's complete attention. He began speaking, his voice calm but commanding, drawing everyone in. He didn't mention his own accolades. Instead, he described Caitlin not by name, but by her presence, a player whose impact on the game is already undeniable. One who makes others take notice, whether they want to or not. The crowd began to realize who he was talking about before. He even spoke her name. And then, in that moment of pure suspense, Jordan turned toward Caitlin and said, "Caitlin Clark." The arena erupted. But Jordan wasn't finished. With a wave of his hand, he silenced the crowd as he prepared to deliver something that would resonate deeply with everyone in the room. When the arena quieted, Jordan's tone changed. This wasn't just a casual speech from a basketball icon. This was Jordan speaking as someone who has experienced the grind, the weight of expectations, and the determination to leave a lasting legacy. He spoke of talent, but he emphasized something even more powerful: fire. Talent can win you games, Jordan said, but fire? Fire can change the game forever. He continued, describing Caitlin's fearlessness, her mix of confidence and poise, and how she's become a force on the court. He compared her drive to the relentless hunger he had during his prime, a refusal to settle for anything less than greatness. The crowd hung on every word. Even the players who had been casually talking on the sidelines were now leaning in, captivated. Greatness, Jordan said, isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's about letting your game do the talking. And Caitlin, your game speaks volumes. At that moment, the atmosphere was electric. You could feel the pride radiating from the fans, Caitlin's teammates, and Caitlin herself. Her hands were folded, but her eyes never left Jordan as he delivered the words that would make headlines across the sports world. "You remind me," he said, "of the reason I fell in love with this game. If you keep going like this, you'll inspire the next generation the same way we did." And with that, the crowd went wild. The applause was deafening, not just a casual show of appreciation, but a raw, heartfelt acknowledgement of the bond between basketball's history and its future. Fans jumped to their feet, clapping until their hands were sore. Some were whistling, others waving their arms, and a few had tears in their eyes. The camera captured the moment, showing the genuine emotion that filled the arena. Caitlin sat still for a moment, taking in what had just happened. This wasn't some press release or scripted moment. This was Michael Jordan, someone she'd grown up idolizing, looking her in the eyes and telling her that she had the same fire that made him the greatest. After a brief pause, Caitlin stood, and the crowd's roar grew even louder. Her teammates surrounded her, their faces lit up with joy, as if they'd just won the championship themselves. Jordan, ever the humble figure, didn't bask in the spotlight. Instead, he subtly stepped back, giving Caitlin her moment in the sun. He clapped for her, offering a nod of approval that was more than just a gesture, was a statement, "You've earned this." And in that instant, it was clear. This wasn't about a regular game, a trophy, or a typical celebration. This was bigger. This was a symbolic passing of the torch, a quiet acknowledgement that Caitlin Clark wasn't just a future star, she was quickly becoming the face of basketball itself. The applause from the crowd was intense, echoing through the arena longer than anyone anticipated. It built and built until the whole place seemed to be vibrating with excitement. Fans raised their phones, eager to capture every second of what was unfolding. Clips began to flood social media almost immediately, all with a common theme: history in the making. And even though the game had yet to resume, it was clear this moment would be remembered far beyond the final buzzer. Within minutes, the moment was everywhere. Social media was abuzz with video clips of Jordan's speech, which spread faster than anyone could refresh their feeds. The shaky phone footage, raw and unedited, captured the essence of the moment. The roar of the crowd, Caitlin's stunned expression, and Jordan's powerful words. Hashtags like #Jordan and Clark, #passing the torch, and #GOAT moment quickly became trending topics. TikTok videos set to emotional music amassed millions of views in no time. While sports analysts rushed to dissect the moment, ESPN even dedicated an entire segment to it, calling it one of the most touching and surprising moments in recent basketball history. But it wasn't just sports fans who were talking about it. Celebrities, former athletes, and even WNBA competitors chimed in, some calling it the ultimate endorsement, others seeing it as validation that can't be bought. Speculation ran wild. Was this the beginning of a mentorship between Jordan and Clark? Would they collaborate in some capacity? Or was this just a rare moment of respect from one legend to another? One thing was clear: Caitlin Clark's name was now linked to Michael Jordan's in a way that no marketing campaign could ever orchestrate. She wasn't just the breakout star of the WNBA anymore. She was the young athlete personally acknowledged by the GOAT himself. And as the buzz grew, so did the curiosity. Because beyond the public words, there were whispers about a private exchange that may have been even more meaningful. After the applause died down, Jordan didn't simply exit like any other celebrity might. Instead, he made his way toward Caitlin, walking with that same quiet confidence that had commanded the arena's attention moments earlier. The two met off to the side, away from microphones and cameras. And that's when the real intrigue began. From a distance, it was clear that Jordan was speaking to Caitlin in a low voice, his hand briefly resting on her shoulder. Caitlin listened intently, nodding in acknowledgement, her face a mixture of reverence and deep focus. No one dared interrupt, even the security personnel maintaining their distance. What Jordan was saying wasn't idle chatter. It looked more like wisdom shared only by someone who's reached the pinnacle of success. Rumors later suggested that Jordan may have told her to never let the pressures of the game strip away her love for basketball, to tune out the distractions, the critics, and the noise. Some even speculated that he hinted at the tough road ahead, but reassured her she had the mental fortitude to tackle it. A few reports suggested he may have extended an offer to train together, privately, something that would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity if true. Of course, no one can confirm exactly what was said. Jordan's team remained tight-lipped, and Caitlin kept her cards close when pressed by the media. Her only response was a smile and a cryptic, "That's between me and Mike." And with that, the mystery deepened. Fans couldn't stop wondering what words of wisdom the greatest player ever might have shared with the brightest young star of today. What was said in those private moments would undoubtedly resonate with Caitlin for years to come. In the weeks that followed, a subtle shift was noticeable in Caitlin's game. She already played with a level of skill and confidence that belied her age, but now there was an added edge, a quiet, determined assurance that felt almost like a spark had been lit within her. Interviews revealed a shift in her demeanor. She still spoke with poise, but now there was a deep conviction in her words. It wasn't arrogance, it was certainty. Media coverage became fixated on the Jordan speech whenever Caitlin took the court. Opposing teams now faced not just Caitlin Clark, the rookie, but Caitlin Clark, the player, endorsed by Michael Jordan. And you could see the impact of that recognition on the court. Defenders hesitated, unsure if they were facing just another talented player or a potential legend. Fans packed arenas not only to watch the game, but to see a future icon. In action, every basket, every assist, every moment felt more significant, because Caitlin was now playing with the weight of history behind her. As for Jordan, he didn't fan the flames of the growing hype. He didn't post about it on social media or give follow-up interviews. But every so often, small gestures slipped through: a brief appearance at one of her games, or a quiet message passed through mutual friends. It was as though he had handed her the torch publicly, then retreated into the background, watching closely to see how she would carry it in sports. There are games that live in your memory, and then there are moments that transcend the game entirely. Michael Jordan's spontaneous, heartfelt tribute to Caitlin Clark wasn't just a compliment. It was a symbolic coronation, an unplanned yet powerful exchange between basketball's past and its future. It was the ultimate validation from the sport's greatest icon to one of its brightest emerging stars. And for Caitlin Clark, it wasn't just a fleeting moment of recognition, it was a gift. One day, years from now, she might have a moment where she turns to a young player, offers a few quiet words, and passes along the same spark that Jordan gave her. And when that happens, fans will remember the night in 2025 when the GOAT himself stood up, spoke from the heart, and reminded everyone that greatness doesn't need an era to recognize, it just knows.